As you can see, there's lots of tomatoes. Because guess what we're going to do, guys? This is all going to be about tomatoes. Tomatoes, tomatoes, and tomatoes. I will bring to you wonderful dishes from mia cucina to your cucina. Remember, cucina means kitchen. And once a year, you know, my family, we will gather together and we would have these beautiful tomatoes. Obviously, these are Ruskin tomatoes. And you know, and the farmers right now, they really need your support. And I have lots of tomatoes, and we are going to be cooking with tomatoes all week long. And I'm going to show you amazing, incredible recipes from mia cucina to your cucina. I bring in lots of love. The first thing I'm going to show you how to make is my husband and I this weekend, I asked him if he would smoke me some tomatoes and peppers. And this is going to be a wonderful cold soup. It's like a gazpacho, but a very different gazpacho. It's got an Elena twist to this gazpacho. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing is putting on the fadale. Tafadale, so buongiorno, good morning, welcome to mia cucina, benvenuti a mia cucina, welcome to my cucina, welcome to my cucina. We put the fandale. So this is not going to be super hard. If you don't like smoked, then what you may want to do is when you grill out, is put a little bit of olive oil on your vegetables and then just kind of grill them. They don't have to be smoked. I love the way smoked tomatoes taste, and it's delicious. All right, so I have a food processor. Let me see if I can get you over here a little more here so you can see my food processor. So I have a food processor going on here, so I'm just going to get this open. So what I want to do is I want to show you, you know, also the toppings that is going to go into this wonderful gazpacho. I call it gazpacho. When, you know, we had the honor and the pleasure, Alan and I, last year when we went to Spain, we took a class and they showed us how to make the gazpacho, but their gazpachos is very different than our gazpachos. Okay, so what I have here is I had, let me grab a fork. What I did is I had asked my husband to get me a half an onion, which I'm also going to, I'm just going to give it a roughly chop in here first. We have a lot going on. I try to make it very pretty with all the tomatoes over here. I know this, with all the, look at all those tomatoes that we're going to be cooking this week. So it's going to be a tomato party, a big tomato party. Not throwing tomatoes, eating the tomatoes. Okay, so let me bring you back over here, because you know, I videotape everything with my little tripod. Okay, so what I want to do is, I have a food processor, and I'm just going to roughly chop the one onion that went into the smoker yesterday. All of these guys went into the smoker. If you don't have a smoker, guys, and you like the flavor of smoke, you know, there is this thing at the store that they sell liquid smoke. I find that the liquid smoke is not so super tasty to me. All right, so we have like a little bowl here that we're going to be throwing, because what I do is I also take my garlic and we put them all in the smoker. So what I'm going to do here is I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cloves of garlic. And this is something, you know, that it stays in the refrigerator. The longer it stays, the more flavorful it is. And you can have it with, you know, with grilled cheese sandwiches. You can have it with sandwiches, not have it with sandwiches. You come home after, you know, going back to work today, for a lot of you. And it's just something that you can just take out of the refrigerator. It is supposed to be drink cold, but if you want to have it warm, you know what? So what? The police that's going to see if it's cold or hot is not going to be there. Okay, excuse me. So what I also did is I also did a shallot, and then I have my, I did have a yellow pepper, and I'm just going to, what I'm doing here is I'm taking the skin, because it comes right off when you're smoking it, And these were like I said, we smoked these yesterday with my husband. It gets a little messy, guys, but you know, don't worry about it. So just get them all in here, and what I do is, you know, I just open these guys up. A very easy transaction. You know, when we went to Spain and we were in Barcelona, and that's where we took the class. We got to go shopping for all the vegetables, and it was amazing. What an amazing place to shop. What an amazing place to be in beautiful Barcelona. So what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of peeling, you know, the peppers. Comes right off. See, comes right off. All right. Try not to get, you know, let me just rinse my hands because it is a kind of a messy. It's just messy. It's no big deal, guys. No big deal. Okay, and then what I have here, I also have a Mr. Jalapeno Man. You know, he's gonna make his introductions. We like a little spice. So I'm very, very careful when I'm gonna get into my jalapeno guy. You see, it just shows all of his membranes and all the greens. I mean all the seeds. And if you don't want it very spicy, I would highly suggest you take that off. So anyways, we were making this gazpacho in Spain, and it was a lot of fun because you got to really try the wine as well. And you know, and everybody have their own flavors. And that gazpacho, I was very honest with the, I just put the whole thing in there. To me, it did not have a lot of flavor. I like a lot of flavor, but then again, you know what my flavor palette is versus your flavor palette is two different things. So this is, so how many tomatoes do we have here? As you can see, you know, I kept them all in here. And it's got some beautiful olive oil in there too. And what I want to do is I want to peel my tomatoes like so. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my tomatoes. You see what I'm doing? And I am just going to remove the seeds. The seeds. You see what I'm doing? I don't know if you guys can see that. Just, you know, because they already been smoked. Okay, so then I just take the whole entire tomato, goes into the food processor. I also use some of these beautiful little tomatoes that look how cute, look how beautiful and cute the little guy is. I mean, he also gets, you know, the seeds removed. You know, a lot of people, they don't like the membrane. I like the membrane because that's how I grew up. If you don't like the membrane, by all means, take the membranes. And you know, and what's really cool about when you smoke tomatoes, oh God, they're so delicious. But again, you know, there's people, like my daughter doesn't like smoked stuff. So, you know, there's some people that don't like smoke. So this is what it should look like after, you know, we seeded. Okay, we just take the beautiful, I call it the meat part. Okay, so we're making beautiful gazpacho here. And we just continue to do this, all right? Now, you could, you know, what are you going to do with all this juice? You know, I don't like to throw anything away. So I'm going to see how much juice there is here. But there's also a lot of seeds in here that I really do not want to utilize. I just want to use the beautiful tomatoes. And I'm just taking the skin out. And I'm just taking the seeds out. You know, what causes a lot of problems with acid is, you know, the skin of the tomato, believe it or not. Read about it. You guys can read about it. Here's another little pepper that I have in here. I really don't know how many peppers, maybe 4 or 5 little, you know, little baby peppers, you know, when they get, you know, that beautiful skin like that, you know. Oh, I just love it. And I thank so much my husband for being so gracious to smoke these tomatoes, because these tomatoes are delicious. Okay. So don't throw anything away yet, guys, okay? So we're not done yet. So we're just going to take, we're still taking the tomatoes, we're still putting them in here. It takes a process. And then I'm going to show you the how to make the toppings. You know, there's toppings that will go into this beautiful soup. And, you know, and when you have put up, I'm going to be using a little bit of bread. I only have very little bread left, and I'm going to show you how to make wonderful croutons that's going to go on here. So it's you know, it's not something that you can hurry up and do real quick, which actually, you know, you could start in the morning and definitely you'll have this beautiful soup for later. And trust me, my husband and I are going to be enjoying this deliciousness. So I'm taking all the seeds. So you see what I'm doing, guys? I'm taking all the seeds, okay? So this is our wonderful Italiano Gazpacho. I don't know what to call it. It's like a Gazpacho because it's a cold soup. But it's a delicious soup. It's a smoked soup. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to rinse my hands. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to get under here. I don't know if you guys can see me. And I do have all this wonderful juice. You know, I don't want to get rid of this juice because it's wonderful juice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a measuring cup. I know, me measure. Can you believe me measure? And I am just going to put, you see what I'm doing over here, guys? Okay, so I have the wonderful juice from the tomato. Okay, and I'm just squeezing. I am squeezing the seeds. Okay, you see what I'm doing? See all this beautiful juice? We don't throw that away, okay? We just squeeze and squeeze. Like I said, it's going to take some time, but just think how delicious this is going to be. All right, so you squeeze it, you keep going, you keep going. So it should give me about a cup. Again, you know, I don't know how many tomatoes I did, but you know, whatever tomatoes you want to do. Okay, so now this, it gives me a cup. And I'm just going to put it right into my food processor. So now I'm going to take all of these guys out of here. Give myself a quick rinse again. Because this is all about that tomato. Okay, let me just kind of give a little wipe over here. All right, so what I want to do with this, okay, I don't want to pulse it to where it's just nothing in there, all right? I don't want to do that. Because I want a little bit of a chunk. And the chunk is going to come from the beautiful celery and the cucumber. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of cilantro that I have left over that I need to use. Because remember, we don't throw nothing away. We try not to throw nothing away. Okay, so now let me bring you back to over here. Let's see if you guys can see this. All right, to this right here. All right, I have a half a cup. All right, but I don't know if I'm going to use a half a cup. I have to look. All right, so what I want to do is I want to bring a little bit of sale. Remember what I taught you, sale, salt. And I want to add a little bit of sale right there. A little bit on the back for good luck. Okay, that goes to that. Because we got a lot going on here. All right, so, okay, what kind of olive oil do I use? This is a robust olive oil. Get some really good robust olive oil because you really want something to really give it a good kick. So you need to get a good olive oil. And since I cannot go because my store is closed in St. Pete, this is what I get. Okay, so I would probably, let's see, how much would I put in there? All right, so what I'm going to do, let's just use tablespoons because tablespoons are easier. I'm just going to do 2 tablespoons and see how that goes because I want to taste. Okay, I got some champagne vinegar, If you don't have champagne vinegar, don't worry about it. Just use whatever vinegar you have. Okay. Oh, my goodness. I went a little bit happy with the vinegar. But don't worry about it. The vinegar police is not here. It's just going to taste a little more vinegary. All right, let's see how it's going to taste. Oh, mamma mia. I'm telling you, you know. Hey, listen, everybody makes boo-boos. So when you have a lot more vinegar, guess what? Add a little bit of olive oil. Guys, we got to have fun with this. Life is too short. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it, on there, and pause it to the right, and pause it to the left, and do all the way around, because we're having fun. Okay, pause this baby, pause this baby. Because we gotta look, because we don't know what's going on in there. We gotta look. All right, well, there's still some pieces that are still not, completely, because, we don't want to have no bigger piece of onion in our mouth. No, okay. All right. Pulse it, pulse it, pulse it, and pulse it all you can. Pulse it like a milkshake and do the best you can. All right, woohoo! All right, okay, so there are still some of these little guys leftovers, okay? But I really want to pay attention to how that is coming along. Let me, I don't want to dirty another colander. So I'm going to get my colander right here. Because, I got a nice clean bowl over here. Because, I do want to see, okay? So I am going to take this out. And I am going to, see what I'm doing right here? All right. This is an extra step. An extra step. Okay. So I'm just going to look at that. Oh, mamma mia, che bellezza! Can you see it? Let it ring, Gazpacho. All right. So there is a lot of these other things over here. Okay. And I don't really mind, but what I'm going to do is, because we took it out of here, we saw, we're going to put this right back in there, okay? Because we want to pulse it more, because we want more soup. We want some chunk and not so much chunk. All right, let me look again. Let me look again. Oh, yes. It's starting to look a little better. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to kind of go like this. See, now it's getting more chunky. See how it's getting more meaty? I like my gazpacho a little meaty. Boy, the best gazpacho that I had, I cannot remember where it was. And this was in Madrid. Oh my gosh, this place. I hope that they didn't go under because I would like to go back there. They had the best gazpacho ever. And they did it, they did it like so. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, you just gotta keep doing this thing. Okay, keep doing this thing. Oh, look at that. All right, well, you know me, I gotta taste. I gotta taste everything. I taste for you. I taste over here. Oh my God. It's so good. It's so smoky. It's delicious. Oh my God, it's so good. So, with all these tomatoes, next weekend, depending on where my tomatoes are, because when I like to buy my tomatoes, I like my tomatoes not to be 100% red, that there still are some yellow to it, because in that way, by the time they get super red is when it's time to start doing something with them. Okay, so that takes care of that. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Okay, guys. Let me clean this up. Let me show you what we got. You see that beautiful gazpacho? And now gazpacho, the longer it sits... Get out of here. Shut the front door and the back door. It's delicious. But then, of course, it's mine. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to wrap this baby. Depending on how many... tomatoes you made. I didn't make a lot of tomatoes, but I know now that I can also continue. And can I tell you something? The jalapeno, this little jalapeno dude that went in here, you can barely even taste them. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this in the refrigerator, okay? I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. Aspetta, aspetta. Because that's going to be lunch. All right, so now let me remove this over here, because what I want to do is I want to let me clean the decks, because you know I like a nice clean kitchen. Everything nice and clean. As you can see, we didn't really use a half a cup of each because it wasn't needed. I just used it, I eyeball it. You know, that's when it's time, you know, to kind of get out of our comfort zone. And you know, and as you can see, the vinaigrette went all over the place, but it's okay. Okay, so now I have already washed my celery, and I have already washed my cucumber. And what I want to do is, okay, where is what I want to do? I know I had it over here. Oh, here it is. A peeler. So what I'm going to do is I am going to peel my cucumber, because these are going to be for my toppings, okay? And my toppings, I like them nice and refreshed. This is where my crunch is going to be. And what's going to be more delicious than anything else is what we put on, you know, on top of our beautiful, delicious gazpacho, okay? So let me bring you over here, show you what I'm doing over here. All right, so what we want to do is we want to cut the ends, okay? And then we want to hold the cucumber down, you know, safety first. And then what we want to do is we want to come to the middle, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to take a little spoon, take the bowl, and you're going to run, and you're going to take the middle, the seeds off. You see what I'm doing? I am seeding the cucumber. Because you know, you're not going to want those seeds, okay? So I am seeding my cucumber. So, and the good thing is, guys, that when you cut the cucumber like this, if you want to make a salad, you already have the cucumber cut up. So this is prepping, you know, you can prep. All right, so what I'm going to be showing you is I'm going to be showing you 3 different toppings. One of the toppings is actually the garnish. It's going to be the little bit of cilantro that I got left. So let me go rinse my hands again, because I really like good clean hands for this. This is a working kitchen. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to turn the oven on, okay, a 375. Turn the oven on a 375. 375, the oven. Because we're going to be making the bread part. That's going to be the croutons that's going to be on top of your beautiful soup, the gazpacho. Okay, so now, while that's heating up, and I'll get to that, we are going to cut in like so, long ways. Okay, long ways, guys. And don't worry about it, and you know, if you get a lot more cucumber, because remember, you can make a salad with this later. And let me tell you something about vegetables. Vegetables, they don't like plastic. Don't ask me why. My vegetables, they don't do good in plastic. They do better in glass bowls. Okay? So now herbs, they like the plastic part, but vegetables, they prefer to be, just preference by L'Oreal, you know. Okay, so now what we want to do is, you know, we want to kind of chop these guys, like dice them. You know, you don't want them too big, you don't want them too small, you just want them just perfect, you know, like so. You know, when I prep, I eat a lot of my prep, and that's my breakfast. Okay, so these guys are going to go in here. And this is for later, guys. This is going to be, you know, our wonderful, you know, toppings that we will put our soup. Now, if you're wondering, I didn't have enough tomatoes, Elena. Can I do more tomatoes? Absolutely. Get the ripe ones. Put a little bit of olive oil. You know, if you don't want to put on your grill, Put them in the oven at 500 until they burst. Okay, take the peels off, take the seeds off, just like I showed you, and you can have more, okay? But it's my husband and I, and trust me, that's going to be delicious. All right, so you see what I'm doing? You know, safety first. You know, be careful, don't take your fingers out because you need them. And what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, this is all about prepping one-on-one, and you can go help with the kids. I don't know if the kids are, no, I don't think the kids are back to school today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to finish chopping this. Okay, as you can see, celery. Who doesn't love celery? Celery is very, very good. So I got my cucumber, I got my celery, and these are the things, you know, that that typically they go on top of your gazpacho soup. But remember, guys, this is not your everyday gazpacho. This is an Elena gazpacho. Okay, now what I'm doing is I am going to just, and you know, if you don't have cilantro and you have parsley, by all means. My parsley plant, after 10 years, it decided it doesn't want to make any more parsley for me. So that's a very interesting thing. Okay, so I got my parsley on in here chopped. All right, so now what I do with these is I put saran wrap on these guys, put them back in the refrigerator, and when I'm ready to have my soup later, then I can assemble everything. It's just a little bit of everything on top of the beautiful, beautiful tomato soup. Okay, so now we have our greens, our cucumber, celery, and some chopped cilantro, parsley, whatever you guys have. Okay, so now let me bring you to this part right over here. Okay, so I do not want to, let me clear the decks, because we're all done with that. Okay, so now, over here, all I have really done is just chopped a few things, so my board is not really that super dirty, you know, and even if a little bit of these cilantro leaves gets on here, who cares? All right, so as you can see, I just have regular bread that it's probably 2 weeks old, and something has to happen to this bread. And I got 1, 2, 3, I got only four pieces of bread. As you can see, not that much bread. Okay, so let me remove this, put that in the sink. I'll take care of that later. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to load up, you know, get my little tops of my sliced breads, and I am going to cut them, you know, like so. All right, so then I'm just going to chop them. All right. You know, not very small, not very big, because you know they have to do their thing. Okay, so now what I have here is I have a sheet pan, very simple, very easy, guys, so simple and easy. You're making your own croutons. Okay, so then what I do is I put them right in here, let it rain bread on my sheet. I'm going to remove this out of the way. Oh. So now to this, okay, I'm just going to add some olive oil, like so. You see what I'm doing? Like so. All right, so then what I want to do to these guys is I want to add a little bit of salt, just a pinch. I know we're using a lot of salt today, and black pepper. Now, you know, you guys can make them all different flavors and stuff, but I don't really want it to be a competition, you know, with my wonderful soup. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my hands. Got to get in there, guys. Got to get dirty. Make sure that these guys all get, you know, nicey. Okay, and then I am just going to put them in there for maybe about, I'm going to be checking on them every, you know, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, not even maybe 10 minutes, maybe less, because I don't want to burn them, because this is all I got. You see that? All right, so 375 in the oven it goes. And so I will not burn them. I'm going to put them in 3 minutes. Okay. So now guys, our first tomato dish today was the wonderful gazpacho that we created with our wonderful side toppings of wonderful cucumber, wonderful celery, a little bit of cilantro or parsley, and then we have our wonderful delicious croutons that we made from bread that is going bad, that we really need to use it. So this is our day one of tomatoes. I have a very beautiful recipe for you for tomorrow, but you're gonna have to wait. And remember, it's all about tomatoes. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Grazie mille. Together we will continue to get through this together. I love every single one of you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and blessings, and enjoy your tomatoes. And wait till tomorrow. So today's the soup. Tomorrow it will be something delicious. Okay guys, ciao ciao.